Hello everyone, Ryan here with another 2020 Subaru Outback video for you. In this video I want to talk about Technical Service Bulletin 15-261-20 or TSB 1526120. This is a software update that Subaru has put out to address a few concerns that have been discovered in the control panel infotainment system on the 2020 Legacies and Outbacks. Now we've heard rumors about a big update coming in May, but with the recent news of the pandemic this year, we're not sure if that's going to delay that rumored update. And we haven't heard any recent updates or news from any of our contacts at Subaru. So it could be that that may have been permanently delayed or delayed indefinitely due to the pandemic. So we'll keep you informed as soon as we hear about that. However, this TSB addresses a software or provides a software update that addresses a few specific symptoms that you may be having with your Outback. If you're having these symptoms, the only way to get it updated is to take it to a retailer who can apply the update, or to a mechanic that has access to Subaru's system with the right equipment, and then they can update it. So let's talk about the symptoms that this TSB addresses so you can make an informed decision. Not everyone will need this particular update, but it may help you if you have some of these issues. So the first symptom that the TSB addresses is a concern with the control panel display freezing or locking up. So if you're using the display and you try to navigate through the display and you find that it's freezing or locking up, it could be related. The software update could fix that. I noticed that particularly when turning on the vehicle, it's slow, but then it becomes faster as I use the car. I have had a couple of issues where it has frozen from time to time, but nothing really consistently bad. But you may have issues with that, and if you do, this TSB is meant to solve that. The second symptom has to do with the delayed response of the rear camera view guidelines. So if I put the car into reverse here, you can see these lines here, and as I turn the steering wheel, you'll see these yellow lines show up right here. And these are your guidelines, and the more that I turn the steering wheel, it shows me the direction that the car is going to travel as I move in reverse. Now, I have experienced this issue, in fact, quite frequently. When backing up, the response of these guidelines can be really delayed, and it can take a really long time for them to update. So if you're experiencing that problem like I am, this TSB is meant to solve that. So be looking for that. The other concerns are pretty rare. You probably won't have run into them. The other symptom that this update addresses is a display issue on the main cluster, on the main gauge cluster, where it displays a funny character next to the mileage when you're using kilometers. So if you're in a country that's using kilometers, you may have issues with weird characters or something showing up next to the mileage unit. This TSB will address that. The fourth symptom is related to something that just mechanics and service technicians will run into, where the diagnostics recorder mode, when you're in dealer mode, won't properly export data to a USB memory device. So this is a special diagnostics mode that you can put the Outback into, and a mechanic can export a whole bunch of information about the car as it's being driven, and then record that information to a USB stick. It's not something that a normal owner is going to do, mainly because we don't have the software to decode that. So just keep that in mind. If you are a service technician and you're having problems, you might want to look into TSB 15-261-20 here. And then finally, the fifth symptom is when using voice recognition and you're searching for a point of interest in Canada with the French language selected, and this can cause the control panel display to turn black, and it will display a caution or disclaimer message. So if you're in Canada and you have the French language selected and you try to search for a nearby point of interest in the navigation system, and all of a sudden the display freaks out and you get a black display, you absolutely should get this TSB addressed. So how do you determine if your Outback needs this update? What you're going to do is come in here to settings and scroll all the way down here to the bottom under the general tab. And you're going to find system information. And you'll see the software version right here. Now, the only thing that's different on your particular Outback might be this letter after the G. So F11G and then a letter. And the 3 letters you can have are H for the high-end models, M for the medium models, and B for the base models. And then everything else should be the same. And this number, this trailing number, will say either 501 or 502. If you have any of those versions, just generally this version, you are susceptible to these problems. And if you're having them, you need to go see a retailer to get this TSB applied, this update applied to the infotainment system. We're going to go ahead, and I've scheduled an appointment with my retailer, and I'm going to go and I'm going to take it in tomorrow and have them apply the update. And then I'm going to get back to you guys and let you know the impact that update had on my vehicle. So be looking for that update soon. So a couple of other things that people have said that they've seen this update fix that Subaru doesn't specifically address in the TSB is they're saying that after the TSB update has been applied, they're noticing that Apple CarPlay is working better. So I'm going to do some testing and let you guys know what I discover. But there's a little bit of an update on TSB 15.261.20. If you're having those symptoms or concerns, or you'd just like to get the software updated, contact your retailer and get it set up. Our test vehicle today has been the 2020 Subaru Outback Limited XT. I'm the owner of this vehicle. I don't work for Subaru or a Subaru retailer. I'm making these videos just to help others get the most out of their Outback, and hopefully this helps. Thanks for watching.